So did you push her hard? Like, can you just show me? Like that? Oh my God, that would not be. And I went just like that. I pushed her, and then she clocked me. I couldn't punch her out of cup in my hand. No, she just threw her drink.
Wait a damn minute.
You're dripping.
Anyways, back to the conversation.
What's up, y'all? It's Brian Keith, and I'm back with another video. And today we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 14, episode 9. And yeah, y'all were lying up in this episode for real. Jennifer Aiden, you was lying. Danielle, you was lying. We're going to talk about it. A lot of stuff happened that I was just like, okay, it's not really that deep, but we're going to talk about it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Let me check my shit real quick. Hotter than the fire coming out my flaming lips. You wanna play with me? You can't play in me. On the playground, bitch, you can't play with me. Got it, wanted, securing the bag.
I want to talk about, in this episode. First of all, I'm gonna get all the stuff that we didn't get out the way. So Marge and her husband, he might have cancer. So she's over here just trying to figure out, go through all the tests, getting the results, and the doctor's basically saying there's risk, but they just don't know as of right now.
There's a chance, of course, that it's prostate cancer, but because the PSA is just slightly abnormal, it means it's very, very early.
Okay.
So, they're trying to see if it's like hereditary and within the family. And like I said before, like cancer is a very sensitive topic because one of my aunts did pass away from cancer last Christmas time. So it's a very sensitive topic. And, I wish her family nothing but, the best, regardless of a show. And this is one thing I feel like with the ladies, like regardless of the show, you can put shit aside because people do pass away from this. So just like you take your health very seriously. The Gorgas, they go to the wedding. One of Melissa's cousins is over here, getting married to his partner, and shout out to them. Love is love. During Pride Month, we love to see it. Now, when it comes to Joe irritates my entire soul, right? However, I can give him his 10s.
Oh, he's so nervous.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Joe Gorga, and today is Father Joe.
I could never give you a 10 because I don't like you. So I'll give you about an 8.5.
When he's over here, the way that he talked about, Melissa's cousin, and the way that he basically went through this, diatribe of all the things that gave him his salutations of, you came out to me and I could have been a portion of keeping you within the closet and like hindering you and pushing you back. So I just want to let you know that I'm going to accept you wholeheartedly, you and your partner.
I was like, wow, look at this good-looking guy. And I said, how are the ladies? You must be knocking them dead.
Well,
Not knowing that I was keeping this burden on you.
Y'all have welcomed me into your family, so I welcome you with open arms, and I love to see that. We need more people like that, more men like Joe Gorga. And a lot of men on this show are very comfortable within themselves and their sexuality, and I think this is a good example of men just supporting them because like we're family, and love is love regardless of the fact. So shout out to the Gorgas on that, and we're gonna get on Danielle first. Okay, so Danielle, she's over here talking to her husband. They basically like reenacted all the things that have happened, transpired, and mind you, this is after they were let back from suspension.
Jennifer drums up lies and situations and turns it into just the complete opposite.
I think they were suspended for like a couple of weeks. I stand corrected. They were suspended for 3 fucking days. Now, if it was Kenya, the girl got fired. And mind you, Bravo's over here talking about code of conduct. I've never known this code of conduct. I've already seen Margaret get her hair damn near ripped out her scalp. I saw Candace over here getting bing-bonged upside the head. I've seen Monique got hit with a glass. I've seen Portia attack how many people? The double standard is crazy. But to each his own. They were brought back, and she's basically saying that, I don't know really what happened. It was a lot. I just know I was pushed, so I felt like I had to defend myself, which is perfectly fine. Like, if you feel like somebody put their hands on you and you feel like the course of action was to retaliate, I understand that. However, like I said before, to hit someone with a glass on the neck, that was escalated to past we had the appropriate response, and then we had the response right? So I'm not really mad at her response to the way that I'm just like, oh my gosh, she should be held accountable. I feel like that response was intense, right? Danielle basically talks about, you know, she's gonna have her bougie kids party and she's having a relaunch and want to, you know, have a party with all the girls minus, you know, Jennifer Aiden.
Is everybody too?
Of course. I mean, it goes without saying, Jennifer is no longer coming.
The whole Jen thing, that's not cool.
However, she says, you know, I haven't talked to my father in a long time and I want to invite my father. So she was like, yeah, you know, go ahead. You know, she told her husband, I know you're going to be hanging out. You take the kids to go see him later today. Yeah, invite him. Let me know if you're going to come. I really want him to be there, blah, 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 blah. She felt like this is like an olive branch. You know, ultimately her father did agree to come, but towards the end of the episode, we found out that he couldn't come because he was sick, right? I definitely get her reservations on the situation because for myself, like personally, me and my dad are not in a good place. And for me, I felt like boundaries were crossed and I felt like disrespect was done personally to me. So it's just hard for me to just let that go. In the sense of not like forgiving him. Like I forgave him for the stuff that happened when I was a kid, but as a grown adult, it's like, do I want to continue to go through this cycle? It has been a cycle all my life going through this. Do I want to keep subjecting myself to basically getting let down and get my feelings hurt? And I chose not to, right? Talk to a therapist when I was on campus, talk to my therapist, and you know, I was able to walk through my thoughts to, you know what, I'm not going to keep subjecting myself to this. And if I make this decision, I have to knowingly know and feel comfortable enough to know that if I do this, I am basically saying I'm never going to talk to this man again. Now, it might change over time, which is fine. But at that moment, communication was cut off, period. You know, I felt like I was disrespected. Not to really go too much into it, but like my dad didn't come to my college graduation. He didn't come to one of the biggest moments of, you know, I had a huge art show that was sponsored by, you know, my university. Like me being a person of color, someone in a creative field, to have exhibit on my university where over 20,000 people were able to see in attendance is one of those things where it's just like, you know, you would want your parents to see that, right? Just for, you know, him not to be able to come because he lives in Seattle. Look, things happen, I get it. But for months later to basically get a phone call, me getting cussed out for no reason, that's where things just had to snap. And it was just like, I'm done. I cannot. And like I said, I'm not trying to go too much into like, you know, the personal stuff, but that's just a little bit of insight of what went on, right? We transfer over to Jennifer Aiden's house and we see Teresa and Jen Fesler go over there. So Teresa's like, they're basically talking about, girl, we didn't even see what happened. And at first I'm looking at Teresa like, girl, you a motherfucker lie. But the producers wrote it back, so I was like, okay, what's Teresa said she didn't lie?
I don't know how I missed that. I missed it too. I didn't see it. She crushed her freaking drink on me, girl. The cup was broken.
She was like, look, I turned my head at when everything happened, so I don't really know. But she definitely saw that, whoa. Right. She asked Jennifer, like, girl, like, how did you push her? Like, what made her really do that? Like, you must have pushed her. She's like, no, girl, I give her a gentle push.
Can you just show me how she did it? She was in like that. Oh my God, that would not be. And I went just like that. Okay.
Somebody lying. Somebody is lying, bruh.
I'm just like, you a motherfucking lie, Jennifer. Regardless of the fact you put your hands on that girl and you got the response that you got. The moral of the story is, Jennifer, you wanted a problem with Danielle and she gave you the results of that problem, right? You constantly came after that woman, talked about her business, talked about her being a disloyal friend, said that she's being a shady business partner, and then on top of that, saying that she's stealing from charities or saying that she is over here pocketing money and paying herself back, which is in fact stealing from a charity. So my whole thing with Jennifer is just like, girl, like, what do you expect her to do? Just be like, okay, well, cool. You pushed me. Like, my whole thing was like, what was the response supposed to be? That you pushed her. So what was the response supposed to be? You wanted a reaction and she gave it to you, right?
My reaction was a reflex to defend myself. And that night I actually even felt bad.
So they get on the whole thing and Teresa's basically telling her, like, look, you know, I'm going to a party. I don't know how you feel about that. And Jennifer's like, you know, I'm not really happy, but I mean, I can't tell you what to do. Like, you know, do what you got to do. So in her confessional, she's just saying that she's disappointed because at the end of the day, you know, if someone would have hit you, I would have stood 10 toes behind you. You say that, Jennifer, but aren't you cool with Melissa now? Didn't you go to Melissa's events? Like, did you not care about, you know, what Teresa's stuff? Because you said, like, you know, I have to make my own decisions for me. That's what Teresa's doing. So how you gonna get mad at her for doing the same thing?
Peace, and I know you want us to make up because it puts you in a weird spot. Listen, I'm not trying to upset Jennifer, but like I'm friends with both of them.
Right. My whole thing with Jen Fesler is I like Fesler. I just feel like Fesler is playing all angles, and it's going to get her, I feel like it's going to get her in trouble sooner than later. So we finally see the Bougie Kids event, and all the girls come. We see Tiffany, we see another girl, I think Catherine, I believe. One thing about Tiffany is I think Tiffany is maneuvering very smart in this friend group. Tiffany is always been seen. She has been heard, but she has not done too much. And it makes you intrigued about who is this woman? Who is her husband? First of all, I thought it was Sergio on the screen. I said, that's Sergio. Oh, that's Dante. Two different type of men. Okay. Danielle basically finds out that her father's not coming. And, you know, she's just like, you know, she's at peace with it. You know, hopefully there'll be another opportunity for her to have her father there. So all the girls are talking about what transpired and how did they get there. And she basically tells them, like, you know, Jennifer has been poking at me for the longest time.
I don't think either one of you expected it to escalate to that point. And also the narrative online is like outrageous.
My trigger was her trying to accuse me of stealing from a charity. So when they talk about the whole push situation and how she over here smashed a glass on the side of her face, she basically saying that, you know, I didn't smash a glass on the side of her face. I just, you know, I reacted, and she basically said she threw a drink in her face.
And then she clocked me. Did you see it? I couldn't punch her. I had a cup in my hand. No, she just threw her drink. I don't know if you punched her, clocked her.
Danielle,
You a motherfucking lie too.
you and Jennifer got that in common. But no, but you did not throw a drink in her face, girl. Because Rachel was just like, girl, what's going on online? They saying that you smashed a glass against her neck. Girl, what the world? And this is one time where the internet low-key got it right. Danielle, you took that glass, said waka against her neck. Girl, I don't condone violence, but however, you know where that could have led to if you really would have knocked her head off her shoulders. So you got Tiffany over here just like, girl, you did what, girl? Oh my God, girl. Like, yeah, she did it. So Danielle's basically telling the girls, you know, I pray that when God puts down her karma, that he spares her family. I'm just like, girl, like Jen Fesler said, like, girl, it's not like she over here like slept with your husband. Like, y'all got into a little tussle, rumble bumble, nothing too crazy. In the midst of them over here talking, Teresa comes in with her daughters, right? And Rachel's just like,
Oh my God, I'd rather talk to a toddler than talk to Teresa.
So she walks away.
Oh, hi. It's so beautiful. No problem.
And my whole thing with Rachel is the fact that I'm starting to really enjoy her. But when she's around Teresa, it's just like, girl, your slip is always showing. You make it known that you are bothered.
I would rather talk to any toddler at this party than Teresa.
What you could have easily done, saw Teresa, she tried to hug you, give her the Oprah, just said, look, girl, what's up? And like did your own thing. But you make it seem like you are bothered by this woman. And to be honest, she haven't really done that much to you. The beef doesn't make sense. And I just feel like you're putting more stress on yourself in this situation than Teresa. Teresa is fine. She just and it doesn't make sense to me. That's why I'm just like, Rachel, girl, you seem pressed as fuck. Let's get over it. So they asked Teresa her perspective, and you know, Teresa's just like, you know, I'm still friends with with Jennifer. So I mean, I'm cool with her. I have no issue. And Danielle's basically telling like, girl, she's saying that I stole from a charity. So what are you trying to say? And my whole thing is like, regardless of the fact they're gonna try to put Teresa in the middle, because basically in the beginning of this episode, Danielle has questioned. Beginning of this episode, Jennifer has questioned Teresa's loyalty. Now Danielle is questioning Teresa's loyalty. And my whole thing is, what is she supposed to do? She's trying to play the middle. She's trying to be on both of you guys' side without picking a side. But there comes a point where you're going to have to. And trust me, I know, because when both of my best friends were beefing, I tried to play the middle. At some point, I had to pick a side. I had to.
Did John Fuda try to reference me in some, like, wrong way? Apparently, I guess he tried to compare, like, our ages.
So, Teresa, Gia, and Miss Jen Fesler were all standing around. And Gia's just over here just laughing, kicking. So Gia's just like,
that's a question. So, did John Fuda refer to me in a comment about, his age and my age? Like, I'm trying to figure out why was I brought up?
Now, mind you, the girls on Facebook are going crazy. The girls on Twitter are going crazy on the fact that Gia is over here inserting herself. My whole thing is this. I don't like when Gia inserts herself in situations that she wasn't a part of. She's giving her opinion and she is not a part of it, right? This situation, she was brought up. So I feel like if she was brought up, she has the right to ask a question of why was I brought up? Because this is not the first, this is the second time that she was brought up in, something in reference of someone else, right? So my whole thing is, Jeff Fesler basically said, look, he wasn't saying anything disrespectful. He was just saying, like, about the whole drug situation. He was younger than you, and they're trying to slander his name. I totally get where he was coming from. Cool, it made sense.
And he went to jail. She didn't go to jail. My mom heard he was making a comparison or an analogy.
Oh, when all the girls, Melissa, Margaret, Fesler, and someone else, they all get together. Fesler's just like, yeah, I was just over there trying to defend John Fuda to, Teresa and them.
Yeah, talking, explaining to Gia and Teresa that John Fuda would never bring up Gia's name. Why are you discussing John Fuda? You're obsessed with me.
And Fesler, your slip start motherfucking showing, because you should have just kept it cool and kept it mute, but you want to be everyone's friend and you want to be Captain Save-A-Ho in the sense of you didn't have to go back and tell them bitches none of that. You could have just kept it cute and kept your fucking mouth shut and you would have been fine. But now Rachel's just like, oh my God, I cannot. She's like, you're obsessed with me. And she walks away. Jen Fesler just like, what just happened? They're like, because mind you, I peeped this too. Maybe I'm wrong. But when Melissa was like, why are you bringing him up? That's when Rachel over here reacted. Rachel was just like, oh my God. I feel like if Melissa would have kept it cute, baby girl would have kept it cute too.
Oh my God, why are you discussing John? You're obsessed with me.
But when Melissa over here just like, why did you bring it up? She over here stormed off yet again with her jeggings, and Jen Fesler just pissed off. She was like, I was defending them. I was, and which she was. Thank God Dolores was there to attest to it. But they're basically saying like, you need to stop defending him because she don't want you to. So she's just like, cool, I will stop. My whole thing is this. Fesler, you're doing too much.
What is wrong with this woman? We've asked you multiple times, do not get involved. I said that. No, he didn't. I know. I'm not campaigning. I'm not.
And not even what Rachel's saying. You're trying to be the friend for everybody. Like, oh, I was here for you. I was defending you. That's a grown-ass woman. She don't need to be defended, right? And then Melissa's just like, why are you talking to a child? You're talking to a child. And Melissa, you're that family member that will try to baby girl one of your other relatives who is a grown-ass adult, and she's like, you need to stay in the child's place. Bitch, I'm a grown-ass adult. I can say what the fuck I gotta say. Now, when Melissa was saying all that shit to Fesler, like, she's a child, and Gia was standing right there, now Gia would have came over and said,
Melissa, keep my motherfucking name out your mouth, bitch.
She would have said that. You would have been sick. You would have ran home to Joe like, can you believe your niece? Yeah, they don't fuck with you. So my whole thing is, it's a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, like Gia, she been in the mix a lot more. Got confessionals and shit. Like I said, I didn't mind this situation because she was just asking a question about herself. Whatever. The episode, the girls clash. Like they're over here talking about Fesler. Rachel walks over. Fesler and them were basically talking, and she was just basically explaining, like, look, girl, I was just trying to defend, like, just try to say that he was not trying to use her name in malice. Fesler walks over and she was like, why are you yelling at me like a little child?
Why was you yelling at me? Because You stormed off. You tried to defend my husband.
Rachel is pressed as fuck, and Jen Fesler, you need to really calm it down, because like I said, you're trying to play too many sides of the field, and at the end of the day, you need to have your own back instead of her trying to have everybody else's back. But let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Brian Keith, LG, Black View. Bet you didn't know we the Holy Trinity. Now let a God stop a jolly, break your head here. Step into the room and get up in the bed. It tastes sweet, that's cause I'm good. It tastes sour cause I'm better than the hood. Cause I get you hyper when I'm running all around, cause I excite ya.